So, people, today I woke up and I got on the computer and I tracked my package on eBay, and today I got this. I finally got the official Sonic Nendoroid, which I have really been looking forward to since about a year or two ago. Ever since this guy was announced, I just really wanted him, and when I got my first one, which was a bootleg, I was really upset. So today we're going to kind of see how you can avoid getting a bootleg the first time. Just get a real one the first time and not have to worry about it. Okay, let's dive into it. First we'll start with the packaging. We're going to start with the real one first. Go away. On the real one, there will usually be a little sticker on the front that says, "For licensed by Sega." I've also heard some people say that you can find a thing on the back that says AAAanime.com, like a little sticker, but mine didn't have that. Let's see. First off, you'll notice that the colors are much more crisp. You can really tell them apart. The pictures of Sonic are all really bright and they look really great. And it just feels a whole lot sturdier. And you're obviously not going to be able to tell that online. It just feels smoother and sturdier, like it was actually... It took a lot of care going into this, I suppose. Now, this one may seem pretty much the same, but the bootleg is a lot easier to tell. First off, it feels really rough, like sandpaper, really bad. And the colors just are darker and not as good. As you can see on this, you can really see the lines and stuff. This one's a little more faded. And so, you can just kind of tell the images are kind of crappily put on there. They're really dark also. You can just see that they were really printed pretty dark, and that's not a good thing. Here's a side-by-side. So yeah, see how this one is all crisp and this one's kind of like bleached and dark in places and stuff? Look for that. Also, remember, no sticker, so keep an eye out for that. Also, as you can kind of see, the real one will have a more circular piece of tape around it, covering that. Mine was already open because it was partially used. And the real one, which I ripped off long ago, had just Scotch tape on it, so look for that when you show the packaging. Opening the two up, this is of course the real one and this is the bootleg, we can see that they have these yellow insert card type things. Now, these ones you probably won't be able to tell as much from the image, but this one just feels really sandpapery, and this one is really smooth. You can see the reflection on it. This one is barely able to reflect. Also, this one seems to be a little bit darker, like it was printed better. I don't know if you'll be able to tell that from the image, but if you can, then you have some pretty good eyes. So let's get rid of these two boxes, and we'll move on to the plastic inserts on the inside. Now, upon opening it, you should have three different separately packaged things. You should have the figure with all of his accessories, the extra hands and the little goalpost, and instructions, which the bootleg does not come with. This should be plastic wrapped. The plastic on these ones is just really sturdy. You can just kind of tell, like, it takes some force to pop it apart, and it actually fits together very snugly. Same with this one, like, you can pick it up out of the top one and shake it, and you don't have to worry about it. The fake one only comes with two things separately packaged. It comes with the figure, and it comes with this, which pops apart pretty easily. And then this one, it's not even worth mentioning. Now let's take a look at the figures themselves. First, let's take a look at the real figure. Now, upon snapping the plastic apart, you'll be able to see that this one is wrapped in a nice little plastic sheet, which keeps him nice and protected. I'm not sure what face came on him originally. I believe it was this one, according to all the pictures I've seen online. But yeah, you can just kind of tell it's high quality from just holding the figure itself. And again, it comes with this nice little plastic wrapping. There's a couple different things you can do to tell if this one is real. First off, the quills shouldn't be too far spread apart. Like, they should be, kind of rounded, like that, if you look at them from the front. Whereas on the real one, they just kind of stick out in all directions. Like I said, he should come with this face already on him. And his skin tone should match all the way around. His ears, his face, his little belly patch, and his arms. And because these figures, according to the website, are supposed to be absolutely perfect, there's supposed to be nothing wrong with them whatsoever. when you take him out, he shouldn't be too shiny. The other one, the Bootleg, is usually super shiny for some reason, which I'm not sure why. Even the eyes shouldn't be too shiny. They should be a little bit more glossy than the other parts, but not too much. The nose, on the other hand, is pretty reflective. The belly patch should feel really rough, not too rough, but still kind of like actual skin. And the quills should feel a little bit rough. The arms should feel the same as the belly patch, and the hands aren't like that soft. They are more of like a kind of a rough, kind of like the rest of this. So he shouldn't be too shiny, basically. He should be kind of rough. The boot buckle should be more rounded, where I noticed on the other one it's more squared off and there's bigger holes in the middle. And the shoes should be smaller than the other one. So let's take off his shoes and compare it to his face. So I'm buying this figure online, and another way to make sure it's safe is make sure that the shoes, when stood up, just kind of use Photoshop or whatever, and they should be about right to the end of that ball joint right there. So yeah. Another thing that I noticed, when you pop off the face, it's white underneath on the real one. It was cast in white and then painted blue. You can also see it on this one, on the little hole in the back. So watch out for that. In fact, that's all I really asked the guy online was, when you remove the face, is it white or blue underneath? He told me it was white, and therefore I could just kind of tell. Now let's talk about the fake figure. Here I come! Well, upon doing that just now, his nose broke off again. So yeah, this one isn't very sturdy. I bet if I punched the other one, it probably would have held together a lot better. But let's talk about this one. So as you can see, it's kind of just like a shiny figure. The body is really shiny, like everything on it is just super shiny, like lens flares everywhere, like just like Star Trek. This guy is from Star Trek with all the lens flares and stuff coming off of him. The nose is pretty much just as shiny, if not duller than the rest of the body actually. So the quills on this one, as you can see, are just kind of a little bit wider. They stick out wider for some reason. I don't know why, they just do. But yeah, look for paint flubs. Like this, it kind of had black on here, even though it wasn't supposed to. And sometimes the hands have little blue dots on them. If you can see that, which you can't, it has little blue dots on it. Yeah, you can probably see one there. But yeah, so look out for that. And also, when you remove the face, it's blue on the Bootleg. And this just feels like cheap plastic that's gonna break. See when I pinch it? Yeah. The whole figure itself, like, I feel like if I... Whoa, Sonic. I feel like when I pick him up, he's just gonna crumble and fall to pieces. Because he pretty much is. Poor Sonic with his one gimpy leg. Gotta go fast! Gotta... Oh! At least! So now let's talk about their accessories. I'm going to talk about the real one's accessories first. So some of the first accessories you should get should be the display stand, which comes in this little packaging, which is really nice. I haven't opened it yet. It also comes with all of these little images, which I'll talk about later. And it comes with the 2 plastic rods to stand up these 2, and a little stand to stand up Sonic. The ring itself should be pretty hard to tell apart from the other one actually, because they pretty much look the same. But the Chaos Emerald, it's kind of like way better. You can just tell, like this one looks so much better than the other one. It's nice, it's a more dark green, and it's just better. It should also come with a little bubble, like a little bubble thing. It should come with 2 of these little stands to put the rods in. 2 interchangeable faces, a frowny face and a smiley face with his eyes turned to the side. And each should come with an extra arm that is bent, and an extra leg that is bent. So, yeah. He also comes with extra hands and a little goalpost. The hands themselves should come with 2 pairs of fists, which, like I said before, should be nice and rough, and should have little ball joints in every single one. It should also come with 1 little waggy 1 finger pose, which I cannot get out. There we go. And that is really nice. I'm really glad they finally put this in a Sonic figure. Should also come with a nice thumbs up pose, which is amazing. And then, of course, this little goal post, which I can't get out. And it's It's a really good piece. I am so glad they have this with a Sonic figure. Makes me so happy. The bootleg figure should come with exactly everything else that the other figure came with. Only one minor detail. This one sucks. Let's talk about the Chaos Emeralds. This is the real Chaos Emerald, and it is amazing. Look at it. It's got like perfect sculpt, and it's got a little hole in the back where you can plug in one of the rods, which I'll get to in a minute. And it just looks amazing. It is perfectly scaled with the Sonic figure, as you can see, and it looks like it fits in his hand, and it is just amazing. I definitely love that one. The real one is not as amazing. As you can see, it is kind of light green, and it kind of feels like it's made out of a really cheap plastic, and I can almost flex it like I did the face. It does have a peg hole in back, but it's a lot more visible, and the sculpt on it is, even though it's like pretty much just ripped from that, it feels smoother, whereas on the other one you can feel all the little edges. Also, if you put it in this one's arm, most of the time it's going to make him fall over, or it's just going to fall out. Oh look, he did it. 1 out of 10. He got right. So let's talk about the items that come with the real one. We'll start with the ring. The ring itself is pretty cool. It's definitely a good sculpt for a ring. I kind of wish they had done it in a more chrome like they did with the Mario's gold coins, but they didn't. In comparison, here's the bootleg ring, and you can just see it's kind of a little bit lighter, and it's not as glossy for some reason. This one has like more gold in the paint. This one is just pretty much flat out yellow. All in all though, that one is still a pretty good ring, and I'll probably end up keeping it. Let's talk about the item boxes. Now, as you can see from this one, this is the real one, and it is much clearer. It is just super clear, and it looks amazing. Whereas this one looks like a little more foggier for some reason. Also, I've heard that if you compare them, oh, nope, people lied to me. But with the fake one, there are all the little card inserts, which of course go in the same way as the real one. You just plug them in, you close it back up, upside down of course, and then you just put that on, and it still looks really great. With this one, you do the same, but let's talk about those little images themselves. First off, down on the bottom of this, you can see it's printed down there. Same with this one, but the real one, it just kind of seems a whole lot more, like, bright. And it looks like the pattern may be a little bit different. Like, the holes are bigger. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I, for one, still prefer the real one. Also, this one, the real one, should come in a little plastic wrapping, kind of like the Sonic figure did. But this one didn't. Then again, maybe I'm just going crazy. I mean, maybe not all Nendoroids are created equal. So let's talk about the pictures on these. We'll start off with the invincibility. Now, as you can see, they pretty much look the same. The one in the package looks a little darker, but this one actually looks better almost for some reason. Not sure why. Talk about the green little bubble shield. It looks almost the same, but you can tell that this one, look at it's like put on crooked and stuff, and it was just like a badly put on sticker. Like, look out for that one. And it's really, like, the quality on it just feels really bad. You can just kind of tell. The 20 ring thing looks really, like, washed out. It looks kind of faded. You probably can't see it on camera, but it looks really faded, and it looks too light, and it just doesn't work very well. The boost thing, you can definitely tell, because whereas it's just kind of, like, slowly goes into shadow on this one, it's like full-on pitch black right there for some reason. Like, the shading on it was way too much. They didn't do very good on printing that. The one-up itself looks a little washed, like someone had just put water on it, and it looks a little faded. This one looks a little darker, and this one is too light. So let's talk about the faces. Now, these are the real faces, and as you can see, the eyes kind of have this glossy effect on the pupils, or irises, or whatever they are. I don't know, I don't study eyes for a living. And they look really good. They seem like the eyes are closer together on that one. Let's take a look at this one. This one, it almost looks like this is like it's not white, it's like pinkish almost. And the eyes aren't printed as good, as you can see. And the nose, it seems like the nose is a little bigger, but that could just be me. Also, this is really yellow for some reason. Let's compare these two. They're pretty much the same. So yeah, this again is kind of pink, and look, it's even got like a little chunk missing out of the eye. Mine did for some reason. I don't know why they did that. But this one should be glossier. This one is kind of just really like matte on the eyes, and it doesn't look as high quality of printing on there. And you can just kind of tell because this one is more yellow, and the nose is really matte finished, and the nose is bigger on the fake one for some reason. Maybe that's just my imagination. I don't know, it kind of looks like it's bigger to me though. Oh Nelly, there's a lot of accessories to go to. But next, let's look at the extra arms and legs. These are the real ones, and as you can see, they are done in the same color as the other one, and the joints on them feel really, really tight and really good. Whereas the one on the fake one is just super loose and it kind of flops around, and you feel like if you wiggle it too much, it's gonna explode. But anyways, so they should have a little R on them somewhere, if you can see that. There we go. This is the fake one. It has a little R on it, which you should be able to see, which of course means right. And this one's R, which is the real one, has a much tinier R, which my camera won't even adjust to for some reason. It is just a really, really tiny R, whereas this one is a really big R. You can see the difference. So yeah, look out for that. And this one seems bigger to me. That could just be my imagination. And also, it looks like this is not as much of a circle as the real one is. The arms themselves, this being the real one, this being the fake one, pretty much look the exact same. Except for this one is a little shorter, it seems. Yeah, I don't know why. They're always differing in size, and this one is shorter, it seems, for some reason. Whereas the real one, you can just kind of tell. Also, look out for the shininess on them. The leg and this are just really reflective, whereas the real ones should not be as reflective. They should be a lot more matte finished. Let's talk about the base. The bases themselves are pretty much the exact same. There's almost nothing to differ from them. The only thing I could say is that the holes on the real one seem a little bit smaller than these holes on this one. But other than that, they look pretty much the same. The fake one says copyright Sega made in China, and the real one also says copyright Sega made in China. So there's not really much ways to tell on that one. The arms are a little easier to tell on though. The fake one seems to have like bubbles in the arms, and also this little part at the end is popping out all the time, so I actually super glued that in there. This one, the end should not pop out at all, and as you can see, there is no bubbles and it is really clear. They really did a good job on that. So the rod on the fake one it appears to have some bubbles in it. Like, they didn't do very good on that, but it does look okay. Whereas the one on the real one does not have any bubbles, and it seems a tad bit taller, and it seems like it's thicker and more durable, like it won't snap in half. Whereas this one will probably just bend and probably fits in the hand of a Lego guy. In fact, it does fit in a Lego guy. Watch. Walk the plank. Never. Whereas the real one fits nice and snugly into both the ring and or the emerald, as well as the base, which might I add is pretty much no different than the other one. It's just a little bit clearer. Look out for that. Whereas this one fits nicely into the ring and or the emerald, but when you put it in the base, it's pretty much just gonna fall out. By the way, the base on this one is just a little bit cloudy, not much different than the other one. Here, look. See? Now let's talk about these accessories on the real one. So, first off, we have the hands, like I was talking about earlier. Now, they should feel not too rough, but kind of matte finished, and they are really great. They were casted in a nice white color, and they almost, when you get up really close, kind of look and feel like how a glove should. Same goes for pretty much all of them. The fist and this one, the thumbs up and the fists over here. So, not much else to talk about. They all come with that little Revoltech kind of a joint in there. And inside of here is also the little checkmark post, which is really sturdy. Like, you mess around with this one and you feel like no matter where you put it, it's going to stay there. Also comes with the light beam, which you can take out. It is a little tough to take out, and you have to be careful because this is very thin plastic and it could break. But yeah, they have a nice little star painted on in there, and they look really amazing. I am really glad that a Sonic figure came with these. This is definitely one of my favorite Sonic figures out there. Fake one's a piece of crap. Let's take a look at it. First off with this, as you can see, they are really shiny, and they did come with the joints, the little Revoltech joints in there, but I took them out. They are really like smooth, like they're slippery like soap. You would probably lose them in the shower or whatever. Don't drop the hands. So yeah, they're just super shiny, and it's really easy to tell that these ones are fake. They were casted in white, but it's super shiny, and I don't know why. What is that? There's something in there. I don't know what that is. Probably some milliput that I used to sculpt with. Here's the fake ring post, and as you see, these pretty much just want to fall over and die. They're basically just saying, kill me. The light thing goes in very easily and doesn't come out well, and it feels like I'm just going to snap it by doing that. These don't pose like at all. Like you move them and they just kind of like, nope, I'm lazy, not feeling like it. The stars are okay on there, but they're kind of scratched up in parts, as you can kind of see. And also, it looks like they didn't put the red on all the way right there. And these ones are basically just crappy. I've seen people who say that the light ring thing right here, the little light part in between, is usually warped in theirs. Like these will be joined together or will have completely warped in the heat. So these are obviously made out of a really crappy plastic. Also with the real one, it seems like his legs are a little wider apart, so you can actually get his feet to stand flat. So yeah. The fake one, however, no matter how much you try, those feet are always going to be wibbling and wobbling because he is not good. He is just not good. And whereas on the real one, you can kind of see how they really do go in the socket, the eyes do, and they really fit in there well. With the like fake one, they just kind of bulge out, and it's like really like, I try to push them in all the time and they just don't work. The little stand here should plug nicely into this little peg, which should plug nicely and snugly into Sonic's back, whereas the other one does not, and it is terrible. The only other information I have for you is when buying these guys, be careful. When you're going to buy them from China, make sure that they don't just have pictures straight from the website. Make sure that they actually have like pictures of the used item. If it's like $20 from China, probably don't get it. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad figure. The bootleg isn't. It's just kind of loose and it kind of feels fragile. Like, if you have 20 bucks and you want an action figure of Sonic, go ahead and get this. It's pretty good. But, just be careful when buying from China, basically, because sometimes it's bootleg. I'm sure you can get bootlegs from other places, but I've only had difficulty with it in China. That's pretty much all I have to say about this figure, so really be careful when buying them. I cannot stress that enough, because I do not want anybody else to get duped as I have been duped. So yeah, I've told you to look out for pretty much everything I can tell you. So I got the idea for this video from a guy named Kyle's Game Room. He does gameplay and action figure reviews and all kinds of stuff. He does room tours and he's really a pretty cool guy. And I got the idea from that, and I wanted to kind of just further specify on other stuff to look out for. So yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video, and talk to you guys in the next one. But wait 1 minute. You have one final test. You have to tell me which one is the real one. If you can tell me which one is the real one, then I will know that you are ready, and you will know that you are ready to go look for a Nendoroid successfully. This should work for most Nendoroids, but you know, it's mainly just issued towards Sonic. So, tell me which one you think it is, and I will tell you in a few seconds. I'll put in like some Jeopardy music or something, I don't know. And time is up. If you guess that the one on the left is the real one, then you are a winner. This one sucks. This one is amazing. So yeah, go buy this one if you haven't already. He is pretty cool. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Over the hills and through the woods, the fodder bin we go.